Time to talk more business now. Let's go to Melinda Akinlami, who has more business news.
You first. First Bank.
Welcome to Business News. Nigeria's Quality Standardization Laboratory will reduce the nation's unemployment rate when completed. These comments were made by the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, as well as the Standards Organization of Nigeria during a facility tour of the structure in Lagos. The Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Mrs. Aisha Abubakar, says this will ensure Nigerians have products that are top-notch.
And I'm excited because this is what we need for the economic development that we yearn for. And with this, I can see job creation for our teeming youth and so many more opportunities for the exportation of our products. So I think we would encourage this kind of thing. The National Assembly was here just a couple of weeks ago, and we know how things go. So it's not too soon, but I hope before the next 3 months or 6 months, this building will be a different story.
The due process for verifying quality of products in Nigeria has been abandoned by importers, and they've all diverted products to the EPCC platform, where products are allowed to come into Nigeria without verification. And I had promised when I spoke with them in March, and I gave them a 3 months extension. And so this is that third month today. We're in July, and so we intend to keep our promise of shutting down that platform.
Financial markets are closed across the country due to a public holiday. Equity prices on the local bourse extended last week's losses at the end of trading yesterday as the all-share index shed 1.02%. Market capitalization went down to 9.96 trillion naira, while at the currency market, the naira weakened to 282 naira 18 kobo to the dollar, but appreciated to 352 naira in the parallel market. The Bank of England has eased rules for banks to meet challenges emerging out of UK's referendum. The BOE chief, Mr. Mark Carney, says steps are now being taken to ensure British banks keep lending. The new buffer rule would reduce British banks' capital requirements by £5.7 billion, potentially freeing up an extra £150 billion for lending. A new study by Oslo-based business intelligence data group Rystad Energy shows that the U.S. holds more oil reserves than Saudi Arabia and Russia. The energy firm estimates that oil from fields, discoveries and undiscovered areas amounts to 264 billion barrels, and that's a first for the U.S. The analysis of 60,000 fields worldwide put total global oil reserves at 2.1 trillion barrels, about 70 times the current production rate of 30 billion barrels of crude oil a year. Our stock markets around the world closed mostly negative today, weighed down by slowing global growth concerns, and these are the figures. With that, we wrap up Business News.
You first. First Bank.
Time now for some sports news. Nigeria's Aronoc Quadri is still Africa's highest ranked player after topping the latest release by the International Table Tennis Federation, that's the ITTF. Despite dropping to 38th in the world, Quadri garnered 2,337 points to beat Egypt's Omar Assar to second place in the continent. Six-time Olympian Segun Oturiola is Africa's third player with a ranking of 120 2 in the world. The league management company LMC has unveiled a provisional list of 35 players for the NPFL All-Stars La Liga Tour in August this year. From the 32 players, only 22 NPFL players will be selected for the pre-season friendlies with top La Liga clubs. The list is made up of 4 goalkeepers, 8 defenders, 3 defensive midfielders, 7 central midfielders, 7 wingers and 6 centre forwards. All invited players are to report for the first phase of camping that will open on July the 11th and end on the 18th. New Manchester United boss Jose Mourinho has already taken a subtle dig at Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger by claiming that some managers haven't won a title for 10 years. The Gunners coach, of course, hasn't secured the Premier League title since 2004, while Mourinho last secured the prestigious honour as Chelsea boss back in 2015. When asked whether he has a point to prove following his poor campaign at Chelsea, Mourinho had some few words.
There are some managers that the last time they won a title was 10 years ago. Some of them, the last time they won a title was never. The last time I won a title was 1 year ago. It was not 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it was 1 year ago. So if I have a lot to prove, imagine the others. If you focus too much in one team, in one opponent, the other ones will be laughing. The other ones will be so happy with that. So I'm not going to be part of it. I'm Man United a manager with all the respect to all the other clubs in the country, especially one that was my house for 7 years. I'm the manager of the biggest club in the UK. So I don't have to be looking to the others so much.
Defending champion Serena Williams roared into the semi-finals at Wimbledon with a straight sets demolition of Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. The world number one won 6-4, 6-4 against an opponent who battled hard, but then never looked like causing a shock result as Williams set up a semi-final against Elena Vesnina in the last 4. She's still in course for a potential final against her sister Venus Williams, who outclassed Kazakhstan Yaroslava Shevdova 7-6, 6-3 in the quarter-finals.
Okay, sad match, Miss Williams. Just enough, 6-4, 6-4.
And with that, we've come to the end of sports news. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. The news at 10 continues shortly.
9 people have been hacked to death by suspected rebels in northeastern Democratic Republic of Congo in the latest in a string of massacres that have killed more than 500 civilians since October 2014. Poor intelligence and insufficient resources have hampered efforts by Congolese and UN peacekeeping forces to stamp out repeated killings, many carried out at night with machetes and hatchets near the town of Beni. Rebels from the Allied Democratic Forces, a Ugandan Islamist group, snuck into a village near Oisha, 30 kilometers north of Beni, under the cover of heavy morning rainfall to attack civilians in their homes. Eastern Congo is plagued by dozens of armed groups that prey on the local population and exploit mineral reserves. Meanwhile, voice recorder retrieved from the crashed Egypt's Air MS-804 shows that there was an attempt to put out a fire on board the jet before it crashed into the Mediterranean. This much was revealed by the investigation committee. Earlier analysis of the plane's flight data recorder showed there had been smoke in the lavatory and avionics bay, while recovered wreckage from the jet's front section showed signs of high temperature damage and soot. The flight deck recorder, taken to Cairo this week after being repaired at laboratories belonging to France's BEA Aircraft Accident Agency, further indicate that a fire broke out in the plane in its final moments. U.S. Democratic presumptive nominee Hillary Clinton was extremely careless with classified information. The words of FBI Director James Comey as he announced he will not recommend criminal charges against Hillary Clinton over her use of private email while she was Secretary of State. Mr. Comey said no reasonable prosecutor would pursue a case, but said Hillary and her co-workers were not particularly careful with the handling of classified documents. The decision ends the legal uncertainty that has dogged the Clinton campaign. And the main news again. As Muslims prepare to celebrate the Eid al-Fitr, the military and police today began beefing up security across the country. Police authorities have asked residents to be vigilant. The federal government today extended public holidays until Thursday, July 7th. In his Eid message, the president urged Muslims to imbibe virtues of piety, sacrifice and love. Also today, suspected rebels killed at least 9 people in the northeastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Many thanks for watching. I am Amarachi Ubani. Enjoy the rest of the holiday.
Is Channels Television, celebrating 21 years of professional broadcasting.